What's going on, champs and champets? It's FireMonkey here, wearing the Fortnite dabbing shirt because in today's YouTube video, we got the brand new downtime update for v28.10 officially here, and as you can see, we got a little bit of a Metal Gear collaboration going on. So in today's YouTube video, we'll be talking about some of the changes, mainly showcasing the new cosmetics, including super level variants of the cosmetics in the Battle Pass, and talking about, at the very end, a certain collaboration going on with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is a completely fully leaked skin that isn't even in the files yet. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video, and let's just dive into everything here. So firstly, I think we should start off by going to the Battle Pass tab. Of course, we have the bonus rewards stage, which, now has all the different super level variants. The actual first stage of super level variants is called, if we can actually see here, I don't see a name here at all. It doesn't really want to show me it. Well, you know what, we can't really figure out what it's called anymore. The UI is a little weird nowadays, but we have this certain little design going on here, and now for some reason, you're able to also select the Lego version, which doesn't have the design. It looks pretty cool for the tier 1 version, so we have Nisha getting variants, we have Monte getting variants right here. Montague also has this like glowing eye effect going on with all of his different variants, and I mean, look at that. That looks sick. I wish a lot of the older variants actually looked like this, just because of the little texturing they've done there. We have Oscar getting variants this update as well. You can see the design going on in his outfit right there. It is super sick how the light shines on it and everything. Once again, with the glowing eyes going on. We have Valeria right here with the variant going on as well. The whole entire red flames do still show up on the skin right there, and it actually also supports another variant of the skin. So if we actually wait here for a second, we will see that alternative thing that you're able to actually do, assuming it actually wants to rotate here, which maybe it's broken. There we go. Yeah, you can see the other variant right here with that actual super level design going on. Looks very nice, and you know what, I might have to actually rock this in game because it just looks that clean, right? And even over here on Nisha, we'll go back a little bit so you can see in the second variant with the mask off how the eyes actually glow there as well. This one we're not going to stay on too long because it takes a little bit of time, but as you can see right there, they have this variant supported as well with the eye glowing thing happening, and that's kind of the theme we've got going on here. And then for example with Hope, you have this variant as well. Tier 1 super level variants already knocking it out of the park. I already love the designs a lot. And then we go over to tier 2, which is a little bit of a downgrade in my opinion. You have this type of like leopard tiger type of design going on. I don't really care for it too much, but you also have like the glowing eyes being blue this time. Now this of course has the other variant of Valeria supported. If we actually wait a few seconds here, you can see that design as well with a little like blue and yellow going on with it. It's a little bit of an odder choice for me in my opinion, but still at the same time, I'm sure there's people out there who enjoy it. We have Hope as well right here with that variant. You can see the design going on. It's all like an upwards pattern, except for the parts like the hat, which is just completely blue, especially with the eyes and everything else. We have Nisha right here, which actually gets the mask with the actual blue design as well, instead of like the previous one where it was still golden. Kind of has a similar thing going on, and if we actually wait a few seconds here, you can go ahead and see it without the mask on as well, which will have the blue glowing eyes. Nothing too crazy changing there, but it is something to kind of keep in mind. You can see right there, there's the glowing eyes. We have Montague once again, with that whole entire design. I feel like this design actually goes the best on him. Maybe that's just because most of his outfit is designed in that certain way, but it is something to kind of keep in mind. And then of course at the very end we have Oscar, which is going to be the final reward you unlock for tier 2 of the super level variants. This one I think kind of matches him, but in some ways kind of doesn't. And then for tier 3 we have this kind of like glass design, like whenever you go when you see like a church window or something, they have this kind of like mosaic glass design type of thing going on. You've got that going on here with these skins. However, they kind of like shift colors. If you pay real close attention, it kind of shifts between like red and like a yellowish type of thing, which is an interesting design choice. Oh wait, wow, yeah, if you actually look at the chest here, you got a little cubes and stuff going on there, but even like the outfit has a lot of like shining effects going on with it. But I do think it's definitely an interesting choice. I feel like tier 1 super level variants this time around have been the ones that knocked out of the park the most. That's the one I like the most, but I can definitely see some people rocking tier 3 or tier 2 depending on what they like and don't like. If we go here to Nisha, you can see the design once again. It's got little like metal blackened little mask thing going on there. Design makes a lot more of the little like cube thing going on the side because you get a lot more of a view of it. And then of course if we wait a few seconds, you'll go ahead and see the unmasked variant. But overall, in terms of how this actually looks, I think it's interesting. I've never really been a fan too much of the super level variants. It's been something that's been in the game. If you get them, cool. If you don't get them, whatever. But I do gotta admit, out of all 3 of the different tiers, if I had to put them on a tier list, it'd probably be this, super variant 1 as the highest tier. This tier right here, the super variant 3 being the second, and then I feel like the second middle option would have been the worst one. So when you go through all these, you can make your own opinions and everything. But it's nice to look look at those and see they're in the files. On top of that, Solid Snake is now available to earn in-game if you own the Battle Pass. You can get a loading screen of the stun knife pickaxe right here. You get yourself the Solid Profile Spray, the exclamation mark emote, which I think is pretty cool. You get this banner icon right here. You get Solid Snake himself. If we go over here to the next tab, by the way, keep in mind, Solid Snake cannot be used in the Lego Fortnite mode. But if we go over here, we have another loading screen. We have ourselves a back bling right here, the Metal Gear Mark II. We have the hidden question mark emoticon, which is not animated. We have a really cool glider you can use on any character in the game, which is the slider glider. It looks really sick, and I actually really like the design they've got going there. We have the snake skin wrap, and then finally we have another variant for the skin itself. So overall, you know, a very decent amount of cosmetics you're able to unlock from the whole entire Solid Snake universe, but that's not where it ends, because right here we have Raiden, which if you guys watched my little YouTube short or TikTok, you may have noticed I baited you by saying Raiden Shogun, which is a Genshin Impact character. You know, I hope I made some people mad with it, because that was kind of the goal, but we have Raiden actually in the game here. Now, it's not more of like the robotic metal form or whatever else, but we do have this form of it, which has the mask on and mask off variant. Whenever I select through these skins, you're going to see that error, by the way, just ignore it. You can see the design and everything. This will be sold in the item shop in the near future, so look out for that if you're someone who is a fan of, you know, Metal Gear and all that type of stuff. We have the Lana Lane outfit right here, which is actually the crew pack for February 2024. You can see the front design and the back design right there, and then if we actually go through this, you'll notice a lot of like glowing later on the line. So we have the Lamatic Legacy right here, then we go over to the next one, we got the Orc Legacy. You can start seeing a little bit of the glow kind of going on in the sleeves. We go over here to the Phase Legacy, you start seeing more of that little like shiny glow going on for some reason. We go to the Rhinebound Legacy, where you can see a nice little blue design going on there. I really like the Rhinebound on this skin in particular. And then we end it with the Cosmic Legacy once again, which has a nice little design going on. I love how the sleeves are more like a darker blue, and then the middle chest piece and everything else in the hat are more of that whole entire, like, what is that idle pose? I wasn't expecting to be like, hey, how you doing? But you know what? All right, that's not really part of the review here. You know, it's an interesting little design they've got going on there. Next up, we have the Budge skin, which if we go ahead and select it real quick, you can see the front and back design. It actually has a galaxy theme going on in the feathers, which is pretty cool. This will be sold in a bundle with Sergeant Drake right here, which you can see is more of like, you know, just a military war bird. And then it will also be sold in that same bundle with the Tex Flamingo skin right here. So if you're someone who wanted an actual flamingo skin, or you just wanted birds in Fortnite that you can play around with, you could have this. Next thing you know, they just got to add like a free bird music pack into the Fortnite festival, and then you're all set to have a bird like army out there. After that though, we have the Mateus skin right here, which is actually related to Rocket Racing. I'm not for sure if this is something you're going to be able to purchase in the item shop or if it's another free skin. Currently we don't have access to really looking at the bundles too well, so it's kind of in that vague territory. We have Cavill, which is actually a male version of one of the skins in the Battle Pass, which has, you know, this variant right here with the mask on, and then we actually have a maskless variant right here, which he has a pretty handsome face, not gonna lie. But you know, it's a pretty decent skin you got going there, you know, something that'll be sold in the item shop if you're interested in it. We have Mysterious Fate, which is a brand new version of Fate, which kind of reminds me of like Glow in a way. It's got this little like faction logo going on in the back there, but it's part of the Be the Mystery set. This, I don't know how you're able to obtain. I don't think it had item shop assets as of yet, but there's also the Mysterious Zone skin, so maybe it's an upcoming bundle or something you're able to actually obtain, but it doesn't have any styles or anything. It's just kind of this white and black design, but I mean, it looks pretty cool. And then finally, we have the Comet skin right here, which will be sold in the item shop. All of these skins, except for this skin right here, the Raiden skin, all have support for Lego Fortnite, and of course, Solid Snake's not supported in Lego Fortnite either. Now, if we go over to the back blings, we have ourselves the High Frequency Blade back bling right here, which is just, you know, a normal blade, and then we have ourselves the Metal Gear Mark II back bling we actually already showed you guys. For the crew pack, we have the Lamophonic Blaster back bling, which also has those different variants. You can go ahead and see here. There's the Lamatic Legacy version, there's the Auric Legacy version, there's the Phase Legacy version, there's the Rhinebound Legacy version, and then finally the Cosmic Legacy version. And I think the design is kind of supposed to be like a speaker type of thing, because in actual real life, there's a little merchandise thing. It's not as big as this, but there's a little llama speaker that you can actually get as physical merch, so maybe it's trying to reference that as part of the actual character's design or something along those lines. And then if we go over here, we have the different birds with their different back blings. We have the duck duffel back bling right here with little wiggly legs. You can wiggle them around and stuff. We have ourselves the flambago with also the wiggle legs and everything else, all themed around those birds. And then the squawk sack right here, wiggling legs once again. I just love the little physics they put on some of these back blings and stuff, but that will be sold in the bundle as well. We have the Scion's shield back bling for that Mel skin that we just talked about as like a counterpart of a battle pass skin. We have the Traveler's Class Tech Pack right here, which is actually for this skin we're wearing right here. You know, just got some little tools in it. You got your little wrench, you got all that type of stuff going on there. And then finally, the Enigma Shift back bling, which goes with that Be the Mystery set that we kind of talked about a moment ago. For pickaxes, we have the high frequency blade right here, which if we actually go ahead and swing real quick, you can hear a little bit of the sound effect, you know, nothing too crazy, just a little blade. We have the stun knife as well for Solid Snake, which has this sound effect whenever you hit with it, and it has a pretty interesting little spark thing going on. We have the Globicorns Lamaxes, which if we go to the edit styles here, you can see you have the normal one, you have the Lamatic Legacy, you have yourselves the Auric Legacy, the Phase Legacy, the Rhymebound Legacy, and then finally the Cosmic Legacy. And I think all of these look super duper clean, especially for pickaxes. And I mean, like, Lamatic, for some reason, just that orange kind of, you know, slight glow they've got going there is really, really nice. You got the Carrot Carver pickaxe right here, the Cosmic Peck Axe, which is actually, you know, a whole entire galaxy theme going on, sold with that bird pack. We have the Formal Straight Blade right here. We have the Rip Wrecker, and then ending it off, we have the Champion's Blade, which is actually an FNCS pickaxe for this whole entire season. So it's cool to see that the FNCS pickaxe has actually gotten leaked a little bit early. We have that glider I mentioned, and then for some reason, Shadow Puppets started popping up again in the files. I think they were just moving stuff around, so, you know, nothing too important there. And then if we go to emotes, that's where we get a lot of these cool little emotes, such as, you know, the Metal Gear emote right there, the Fillin' Pucky emote, which I think is pretty interesting. It's probably the most Canadian emote we've really ever seen in Fortnite, but, you know, something to have. We also, after this emote ends right there, which that's the ending thing, it's not like a looping thing, it actually has an end, we have Shave the Date, which is a pretty late emote. You thought this one might have come like the end of last year, but it is an emote wiping away 2023 and bringing us into 2024, which is wild because the last time we got a year emote was like 2020, so maybe this is a good start, or maybe it's a hint at a bad 2024. And then finally, we have the Snowflakey emote right here, which you actually cut up and, you know, throw in the air and everything. You can see that it actually has a llama design there, but what you may or may not know is every time this emote plays, it's actually a different design. So if we go ahead and watch it get cut up once again, we might get the llama again, but no, we got a little snowflake with a face this time. It is a pretty cool emote where I don't really know how many different designs it's got going on for it, but it does have a lot of variety for you, so every time you use it, you might get a llama, you might get a snowflake with a smiley face, or you might get something completely different. So it's definitely one of those things that, you know, has a slight little unique flair to it. It also works in the Lego Fortnite mode, so what we're actually going to do here is select Lego Fortnite down here. By the way, they're doing some weird thing with Discovery, and we're going to showcase these emotes here as well. Firstly, here's the Filling Pucky emote. You can see the nice little design they've got going on. A lot of the newer emotes and stuff are going to be supported day one in Lego Fortnite, except for like some collab things here and there, so it's nice to see that one supported. We have ourselves the Snowflakey emoticon, which instead of really cutting up an actual like snowflake, you just kind of, oh! I wasn't expecting it to turn into a giant snowflake, but you know what? That works perfectly fine. Shave the Date also works in this mode, except this time you're like chiseling it, and then you just go ahead and yeet those out and get a normal little like drill or whatnot. It doesn't have as much as that craziness going on for it, but it does have a nice little design going on. It matches the Lego aesthetic, so you know, it looks pretty chill, but that's it for the Lego support. Now, if we go ahead and go over to wraps, we have a few here. We have Raiden's skin as a wrap. We have the snake skin that we already showed. We have the animated and reactive Comet's Glow wrap, which I don't think I can actually fire anything. Maybe if we go out here, it'll let me, but you know, they've been a little buggy. Okay, we can actually fire this one. So whenever you shoot it, it's got this little like wave design that goes around the gun, so it has a little bit of an animation and reactivity. We have the reactive Bang Boom Pow wrap right here, which we actually go ahead and trigger this one as well. It actually has these little different pow effects that you see in like comic books and stuff showing up on the gun, which I think is pretty cool, and they fade out. And then finally, we have the FNCS wrap for the season, which is the Champions Color wrap. Overall, a pretty decent amount of stuff added this update, with a few little loading screens here and there, such as the lying in the wait loading screen, which I'll go ahead and show in full screen for everyone if it lets me. I hate the locker UI, I'll be completely honest here, but you can see the nice little design going on. It's themed around that yacht right there. We have another one, which is Tactical Advantage, which if we go ahead and see it in full screen, it's just more of like a modern one that we typically see from the season. And then we ended off with the Couch Co-op loading screen, which currently has no way of actually obtaining it, but it's really cool to see all these little minifigures. And actually, wait, if you look right here, there is a small little version of the concept art for a raccoon skin that was set to come to the game soon. So maybe that's actually teasing something, and I'm actually going to pause the video to tweet that. Sorry, I had to tweet that because I have a friend who's been waiting for that skin for a while, so you know, W1Q, if you're seeing this video, that one was for you right there. But that is all the loading screens and stuff going on. In terms of instruments, we kind of have this buggy like temp instrument they're working on. It isn't set to release right now, but it does have different designs. So you know, there's the Void design, here's the Fashion design right here. It's based on the Underground and the Society, so that's kind of the whole entire set of drums and stuff they're working on. With this one, you know, having the black design right here, which is pretty simplistic, pretty clean. The white design right here, which also I think is pretty clean. And then at the end here, we have the Royal design, which I think is more of like a unique one. It definitely is one that you would match with like the skins in the game, especially from the Battle Pass. But there's no way to really obtain these right now because they're completely unfinished. But it is something I thought I would mention because, you know, they're released in the files right now. They will be released later down the line, so might as well show them to you guys. And even though we don't have access to the new little car decal stuff going on because they're kind of unfinished, you know, not in the files properly, we do know that the Indo from Rocket League is coming to the game, and now we have trails in Rocket League, which is actually going to mean whenever you're drifting around in Rocket Racing and all that type of stuff, you will have a different colored trail. They have like a lime, green, you know, purple, yellow, all that type of stuff, you know, the very generic ones, but later down the line we will be getting more trails added to the game. But with that said, that's basically it. That is a lot of stuff they've added this update. Now, this is a little bit of a bonus segment after I already ended the video. I forgot I said I was going to show this, and I think I forgot I showed it in the video, but Shredder is coming to Fortnite. This is the official render of Shredder in the game, and the whole entire thing leading up to this is going to be April O'Neil investigating certain things on the island. There will be some quests for you to do, and it eventually leads to this reveal right here of Shredder coming to the game. It is currently either encrypted or not in the files, but the image is there, and it is for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We can confirm that much. So I thought I would add that to the end here. But with that said, I hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you guys a little bit later. Peace out.